Our apartment just had this real bad smell. So I go in the basement to check the pipes, see if the sewage that flooded or something. Yeah. It's nothing, but there's a top at the end of the stairs, so I stepped over. But when I come back, I'm shining my flashlight and it looks like some blood is leaking from under.
This is Mario Nelson, terrified after stumbling upon a horrifying secret in his landlord's basement. The officers questioning him had no idea just how gruesome the discovery truly was until they themselves stepped foot into the dark basement. What they were about to uncover would make even seasoned officers question their grip on reality.
I unzipped the bag, and we then discovered the body of a woman with the arms and legs and head. And I said, what are we dealing with here? You know, what kind of animal does this to a person?
On December 2nd, 2018, in downtown Grand Rapids, Michigan, Mario Nelson finally noticed the foul smell his girlfriend had been complaining about for the past 2 days. However, he wasn't alarmed at first, assuming it was just dead mice in the walls. But everything changed when he headed down to the basement to fetch his cat. To his horror, he stumbled upon a large black tarp with blood seeping out of it.
I wait, like, oh, this can't be, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not real, this is not real, this is not happening.
The scene was no less disturbing for the officers investigating the crime scene. Although they could confirm that the torso belonged to a female, the absence of legs, arms, or a head made it nearly impossible to identify the victim or determine how she'd ended up in such a condition. That was until Mario revealed a shocking detail. The house in which the body was found belonged to 30-year-old Jared Chance. The officers proceeded with extreme caution as soon as they heard the name. It was the same name as the person last seen with Ashley Young, a 31-year-old woman who disappeared on the night of November 28, 2018. Wanting to dig deeper, they questioned Mario about Jared, Ashley, and anything he might know about their connection.
Who's this Jared Chance guy?
That's the guy who lives upstairs.
He lives upstairs.
Yeah, this is Jared Chance. That's him. I'm trying to see if he in the house because he do got a gun.
Is Ashley here?
Have you ever seen the person that they're talking about?
I seen her like a couple days ago when I went up there. Like he told me to come up there and smoke with him. So I just remember white female, kind of chubby.
Okay.
You know, like she was a little
Dark
chubby.
hair. Lots.
Maybe like brunette, maybe like brownish red.
Did he say how he knew her?
And he said what I say. I was like, I you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you finna hit it because I ain't never seen her before.
Right.
He like, no, I'm just finna move out. She's finna leave in a couple seconds because I got somebody else coming over.
Did you see her leave, or did you?
No.
You left first.
Yeah, I left.
Did you ever see her leave?
Nope.
Did she come in that focus?
Yeah.
That was her car. Yeah.
The last time Mario had seen Ashley, her car was parked right outside Jared's house. But now, it was nowhere to be found and had completely vanished without a trace. According to Mario, though, it wasn't Ashley who'd driven that car the last time.
You notice anything weird in the car?
Man, it was messy. It was like, you know, I'm a person, I try to mind my business, you know what I'm saying? So I try not to be all, you know, my girlfriend, she be, you know, all out the window all the time.
Right,
So,
right.
So like, I'd never, honestly, God, if it wasn't for her, I never would even, because like, when he called, when he knocked on the door, I don't even answer. I just
Right.
like, forget it, because he normally high off weed and Xanax, you know what I'm saying? I can't have a conversation with nobody like that.
So was that full focus on deceased then, I imagine?
That's what I'm assuming.
He sent me a message a couple days ago, like, if somebody come looking for me, don't tell them I'm here.
Okay. He said that to you?
Yeah, it text message.
A couple of days ago he said that?
Yeah. Yeah.
The crime scene was undeniably gruesome, and both the detectives and Mario had their suspicions about the victim and the person responsible. However, what Mario didn't realize was that it wasn't the officers who had connected the dots. In fact, someone else had already started their own investigation right after Ashley went missing. It was the morning of November 29th, 2018, and Ashley Young was supposed to meet her mother, Christine, in Kalamazoo, Michigan, to co-sign a lease for her new apartment. she was actively searching for a new place to live after recently breaking up with her boyfriend, Moody Farron, and deciding to move out of the apartment they'd shared for years. However, the morning came and went, and Ashley never showed up. She wasn't responding to calls or texts, and no one knew where she'd gone. Christine even called her workplace and discovered that Ashley had missed her shift without giving any prior notice, something she'd never done before. As the day wore on, Christine couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. The last time Ashley had checked in with her mother was the previous evening, but she hadn't mentioned where she was headed or who she was with. It had now been 24 hours since anyone had heard from Ashley, and Christine was in a full-blown panic. Ashley was gone, and the clock was ticking. Feeling helpless, she turned to the Kalamazoo Police Department for assistance. Unfortunately, as is often the case, the police didn't fully grasp the gravity of the situation.
Person happens to be 31 years old. That could mean a number of things. Maybe the person doesn't want to be found, or is just away with friends and having a good time. So it's generally not assigned to a full-blown investigation at that point.
While the police had spoken to some of Ashley's friends, the investigation wasn't making much progress. But Ashley's mother couldn't sit by and wait, gripped by an icy wave of fear. With no clear lead to follow, Christine turned to social media, reaching out to Ashley's friends in hopes of finding a clue or any information that might help locate her daughter. Meanwhile, Christine began combing through Ashley's Facebook activity, desperate to uncover any clues that might hint at her daughter's plans or location. Ashley was always the kind of person who loved sharing snippets of her life online. It was her way of connecting. It didn't take long before Christine found a potential lead. In the days leading up to her disappearance, Ashley had been communicating with a man named Jared Chance, a name that immediately set off alarm bells in Christine's mind. Jared was one of Ashley's close friends, but his reputation was troubling. Known to many as wild and unpredictable, Jared had a history of violent outbursts fueled by substance abuse. He also had a complicated history with Ashley. Back in 2013, Jared had broken into Ashley's home, stealing her valuables and selling them off. It was an act of betrayal that ended their friendship for 4 years. But in 2017, Jared managed to rekindle his connection with Ashley. True to her nature, Ashley, who always believed there was good in everyone, gave him a second chance. Christine was already shaken by the thought of Ashley being connected with Jared again, but her concerns grew exponentially with her next discovery. Ashley and Jared shared more than just a friendship. There was a growing attraction between them. Ashley had confided with some of her closest friends about her feelings, subtly hinting at this connection. And then came the final devastating piece of evidence, a voicemail Ashley had left for a friend just days before her disappearance.
Jared is so hard to read, but I know that if he was my boyfriend and he actually was in love with me, I know he would be amazing. I cannot wait to see him on Wednesday.
Once Christine was certain that Ashley had indeed been with Jared on Wednesday, November 28, 2018, she obtained his phone number through Ashley's friends. With her heart racing, she left a voicemail for him, desperate for answers.
Hello, Jared. My name is Christine Young. I'm looking for my daughter. She would laugh with you. Is she with you? She needs to contact me. Tell her that I'm going to contact the police department to a missing person.
When Jared finally returned Christine's call, he had quite a story to tell. He explained that he and Ashley had spent the evening at the Hookah Lounge and Milligan's Pub in Grand Rapids on the night of November 28th. According to Jared, after having a great time in the early morning hours of November 29th, they went their separate ways. But then, Jared added something that made Christine's blood run cold. He claimed that Ashley had just texted him saying she'd lost her phone at the bar and was on her way to pick it up before heading to Kalamazoo to start her third shift at work. This detail confused Christine, because it didn't align with Ashley's known work schedule. Taking her concerns seriously, Christine brought this information to the Grand Rapids police, sharing her suspicions and everything she'd uncovered.
Christine Young asked for the police department to help, but if it was Jared, we need evidence, you know. You can develop theories, but theories won't get you a search warrant. Theories won't get you an arrest warrant. You need evidence, you need facts.
Frustrated, Christine reached out to Jared again. This time, his story took a surprising turn. He claimed that on the night in question, Ashley had been talking to one of his friends, Demetrius Taylor, at the bar. Jared even provided Christine with several non-working phone numbers, which he said belonged to Demetrius. Christine somehow managed to track down Demetrius, who had a shocking detail to share.
When we got there, he's like, I don't know, Ashley. I don't know your daughter at all. And he opened up his phone and showed the text messages where Jared said, hey, Ashley's mom's gonna call you. And you have to say that Ashley was just with you. And you guys were just together.
Fortunately, Demetrius didn't back up Jared's story. He told Christine outright that he was prepared to show these messages to the police if necessary. Determined to get to the bottom of things, Christine and Dana went to Milligan's pub and asked the owner to review the surveillance footage from the night Ashley would have been there.
I talked with the bartender at Mulligan's, and we were able to go look at the security footage. You could see Jared and Ashley wandering around the bar. She ordered a drink. She's smiling, she's laughing. She's being Ashley. I wanted to pull her off the screen and take her home.
The surveillance footage from Milligan's pub showed Ashley acting completely normal, but it didn't capture her leaving the bar. Desperate for answers, Ashley's loved ones turned to social media. They began posting pictures of Ashley and Jared, pleading for any information from the public. This effort brought attention to the case, but no one could have anticipated what would happen next. On the morning of December 2nd, 2018, Jared Chance appeared at the Grand Rapids Police Department, accompanied by his father, James Chance. James demanded to speak with a few detectives, prompting the desk lieutenant to come out to the front window to ask about the situation. James explained that his son, Jared, had been harassed on Facebook by members of Ashley Young's family, as he was the last person to see her. He also claimed to have information about the case, but insisted on having an attorney present before speaking further. The lieutenant informed James that no attorney was currently at the station and that Jared would need to bring his own legal representation if he wished to proceed. At this, Jared became visibly upset and warned the detectives that they were making a big mistake. However, how big of a mistake that it would turn out to be, the Grand Rapids police would only realize a few hours later when they made the horrific discovery at Jared's house. It was shortly after noon when Mario's anxious 911 call came through.
911 emergency. I've been having a real bad smell lately. I just went in the basement, opened the basement door, and there's a turd in what looks like it could be blood leaking from it. And I want the police to come here ASAP right now and look at it.
While detectives were occupied with processing the crime scene, Ashley's mother and stepmother decided to take matters into their own hands and confront Jared face-to-face at his home. When they arrived, he was secured with crime scene tape and swarming with police officers in their cars, carrying the foreboding omen of death.
We pulled up. I thought there was an accident. They found a body at his house, and it's a female, saying, please tell me that's not her. It's not Ashley. It can't be Ashley.
Although Christine could feel her worst fears coming to life, she clung to the slim hope that it might not be Ashley, as the victim's identity had yet to be confirmed. The detectives shared her concern, but an even greater worry loomed. Had they waited too long, allowing Jared to slip through their fingers? With caution and apprehension, and armed with a search warrant, detectives made their way to the second story of the house, uncertain of what they'd find on the other side of the door. To their utmost surprise, detectives found Jared inside his apartment. Throughout the entire ordeal, he had simply been sleeping. As Jared was secured in the police van and transported to the station, the detectives turned their attention to searching his apartment. Little did they know, they were about to make even more chilling discoveries.
When I entered the second level apartment, there was a large brown stain on the kitchen floor. I looked in the bathroom and noted there wasn't a shower curtain in the bathtub. I remember looking at one of the floor vents and I pulled the grate off, and then I saw cartridges, small caliber. A lot of different areas that we found tested positive for blood.
Detectives also discovered that the shell casings were from a .22 caliber pistol, the same type that Jared owned, though it was now missing from the home. But the most unnerving discovery was yet to come. As they made their way to the stairwell, they noticed a cardboard box. Inside the box, wrapped in black garbage bags, they found 2 legs with no feet and 2 arms with no hands. They also found women's clothing, a hoodie, and a pair of boots with blood on them. All these items pointed to the unmistakable signs of gruesome violence. Yet nobody knew exactly what had happened. But the one person who could explain it all was now in their grasp.
Jared was taken into custody. He was brought down to the police department to an interview room.
Can you hang tight just for a sec? We'll get your cuffs up, okay? Alright.
I'm gonna take them off the cuffs.
Yeah, you gonna be decent with us?
Initially, Jared was somewhat talkative.
After exchanging a few words of small talk, detectives asked Jared why he'd come to the police station earlier that day.
We appreciate the fact that you came in earlier, and I'm sorry you got turned away.
Yeah, no, I just came in just because I read on Facebook that the last person this person was with was me, so I was just concerned and trying to get some information about it, but like I just told you, recommended me to just ask for the life of attorney, because I don't really know what the hell's going on, so I don't want to like sit here and talk about shit that may incriminate me or whatever in any kind of way, because I don't know what's going on. So I just don't want to say nothing right now.
To the disappointment of the detectives, the interrogation lasted only a few minutes as Jared immediately exercised his right to counsel. Sadly, this left the truth about what happened to Ashley. Adding to the list of bad news, the coroner couldn't determine the exact cause of death without the head. However, the DNA test left no room for doubt. The poor victim was indeed Ashley. Continuing their search for answers, the detectives made their first stop at Mulligan's pub to review the surveillance footage from the night of Ashley's disappearance. Unfortunately, they discovered that the business had already deleted the video. Undeterred, the detectives expanded their search to surveillance footage from nearby businesses, and soon they came across a clip from one of these establishments showing brief but clear glimpses of both Ashley and Jared together.
November 29th, and it's approximately 1:30. It shows Jared walking in front of the business. There he goes right now, just kind of strolling along. And then, a few seconds later, that's Ashley there. And once again, we see Jared walk into screen, and then eventually Ashley joins him.
We know clearly from the video that Ashley is still alive on the early morning hours of the 29th.
Though this video didn't provide new evidence, it was crucial in establishing the timeline, confirming that Ashley was still alive at that point. From the outside, they appeared to be an ordinary couple. Ashley most likely had no idea of the dreadful fate that awaited her that night. To gather more evidence, detectives began examining Jared's credit card information to retrace his movements. They discovered that the